This one was ENZD, and this one was in a. I was looking for shorts on this between yesterday and today, but they induced the shit out of the highs, and that kept fucking up my positioning. So I kept, yeah, around Asia session. Yeah, yeah, yep. Yep. And I knew if I seen the exhaustion, it had to continue down. Then it continued down, and then the when I took the short setups from Asia into London, I woke up at where it was coming back to retest for the New York session. So, um, in my mind, I closed in profit because I was like, well, if it's gonna keep going up during New York, I don't want to risk it giving all the profit back. And then after that, it just, as you can see now, it's giving us double tops. Yeah. So now it's trying to continue lower. It's just that specific region where it's like throwing all that fucking exhaustion and stopping me out. That's the shit that be fucking me. It's not even that I don't know where it's gonna like try to go next. Yeah, 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 yeah. Till after. Yep, yeah, yeah, yeah. Literally, that's what I told myself. I was like, 9 o'clock would have been just fine. Yep. Mhm. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, and then it hit STP first. Yeah, yeah. That's real. That's real spill. Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be the part I gotta sharpen up on. 100%. And yeah, no, the rent situation, like, I proposed to them, we split it through.
Oh, my mic was muted. Fuck. Right. Mhm. All right. I'm gonna do the class now. I'll be on late today. Like I'm gonna be trading Asia, so let me know whenever you're back. What time are you gonna be back? Like 3 in the morning? Oh, you're only gonna be out for like 2, 3 hours. All right. I'll be here most likely. Yeah, yeah. Go do your thing. Try safe. Peace out. What's good, team? Welcome to tonight's isolation session. Give everybody a few minutes to join. I think everybody's here. I'll give about another 3 minutes. We'll start at 9:10. Any specific questions you guys have? Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. The ones we will be going over in order is going to be the ones you see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AUD, finishing off with US oil. Um, if you guys are interested too, we're gonna have a two-part stream. Once I finish with the isolation session, I'm gonna turn the stream off for about 45 minutes to an hour, right? If there's nothing on the charts now, we're gonna turn the stream off and then I'll turn it back on for the live trading session for Asia session. And again, if there's things to trade and things to look at, we'll be on the stream fucking probably until 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. And then we'll be back again tomorrow for the NYC session at 7 a.m. So again, any questions, let me know. Gonna be a quick stream, pretty much just like yesterday. We'll look at the continuations. We'll see what news did. So we'll just focus on the 30-minute time frame, and then we'll get through these pairs in less than 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. Oh, excuse me. I got the hiccups. I hate this type of season here in Florida, bro. It's like in the morning it's fucking hot as shit, and then once 8 p.m., 9 p.m. hits and the sun's down, it's cold as hell. My allergies are going crazy. My nose itches. I got this shit growing in my eye. It's insane, bro. I'm having a horrible time. Also, for those watching, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. Please. Where's Kendo at, man? Thought this guy was gonna be here. No questions in the chat? You guys ready? Let me turn the stream on in Discord and then I'll get started, guys. See if I have any questions in my Discord messages. No questions, but 2 other people hit me up. Yo, this fucking scammer almost got me. It's all good. Heads up, heads up. It is kind of crazy how these scammers are. Like, yo, I message all of you guys in the chat. Just scroll up and see if that's me or not. If you don't see messages as a brand new chat, you already know it's not me. That's why every time somebody joins the Discord and they're part of our sessions, I message you guys always. And I always message the same thing as a copy and paste. Yo, this is my account. I won't trade for you. Blah, 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 blah. This is my only account. If you see anybody else message you and it looks like me and you don't have this message, you already know that it's not me. So make sure you guys are more aware of. There's a whole bunch of scammers, guys. We get like at least a month we'll get 3 scammers. Like once a week we'll see some shit like that. But I'm very active in the Discord. I'm literally there every minute. So anytime somebody joins, I look at their account. If it was an account that was just created and they're not in any server that I'm in, any trading servers, and your username looks wonky, then I already know, boom, you're the only server I'm in. I'm kicking your ass out and I'm banning you. Especially if you don't go through the verification process in literally as soon as you join, 5 to 10 minutes. Now, if I ban somebody accidentally, come in the chat, let me know. I'm streaming every day, so. Alright, let's get started. I gave everybody an extra minute. Let me adjust this real quick. I gotta update my fucking computer too, bro. From Windows 10 to 11. There's a whole bunch of shit that I can't use right now on my computer because it's like, yo, you gotta update it. But I try to update it and then it says my computer's outdated. It's like, alright. A computer I built in 2021 is fucking outdated in 3 years. It's crazy. Or 4 years. So I'll have to figure that out. I'm gonna try to do that either tonight after we're done trading, or I'll do it tomorrow morning after I'm done trading in the morning. But I might do it tomorrow morning. I tried giving Kendo a few minutes and I texted him. Oh well. Sorry guys, my eye itches. Give me a second. Ow. Yeah, the shit is not inside my eye anymore, which is good. But it's still on the eyelid, which fucking just bothers me so much. Oh man. Alright. Let's get started. So AU, yes, well last night, right, we had these highs just in case, but price continued the trend. Right? And we didn't really get a clean break until these pushes to the top side. So we know that we're still trading in an uptrend, higher high, higher low. The news for today, which we'll break down for every pair that gave us the move, right? We know that it was just an inducement, right? Trapping all the traders who thought they were going to get a continuation, right? If you caught their early trades, then perfect, right? If you held thinking that price, you might still be in profit if you took trades up here. If you took trades down here, you're already at break even. We already know this is higher high, higher low. We had 2 days of rise on the third day, which was today. It gave us that third day push, and it finished on a drop. So could we be looking for a fourth day variation back to the top side with AUD USD? Absolutely. And we know that for AU, we also know that on the 4-hour daily time frame, we're still on an uptrend. Price gave us a higher low. We were pushing up to the top side, gave us a higher high, and we were just looking for price to continue the trend, right? After the higher high was made, which this is the high again if we go up to the 4-hour time frame. Right, price gave us the higher low push, it gave us the push up into another higher high, and it's just giving us a pullback. It gave us a higher low. Right, so now that we know a push from the higher high to a higher low on the internal time frame is where you'll start seeing lower lows and lower highs, which again, if you go to the internal 5-minute, 1-minute time frame, that's where you'll start seeing lower lows and lower highs, right, the entire time. So we'll have to be patient. Again, AU, we're still expecting a steeper pullback to at least fill this 30-minute gap, but we'll see what price wants to do. The first point of interest, again, is going to be the 4-hour highs. Everything is color coordinated, so we know exactly where we're at. The 4-hour highs are blue, daily highs are gray, 30-minute highs and lows are red, right? So once price gets back up to the 4-hour highs, if it gives us an inducement of the highs and starts making lower lows and lower highs again on the 30-minute time frame, we know we could take those trades again back down to the bottom. And if it ends up doing that, we know that our target is going to be this 30-minute gap that's at these lows over here. Very simple. We're just looking at where to take trades and where to capitalize. Right? And we know that if we capitalize on these trades up here, let's say price gives us an inducement and we start looking at trades right here. Right? We know that we have a 185 pip area to continue to look for trades going down. Right? And if you do the math, a pair that moves 50 pips a day, that's 2 weeks worth of trading, 2-3 weeks worth of trading, of trades that we could take going back down every single day of the week to continue that trend back down to the bottom. Right? Very similar. If you guys go look at the Discord, the trades that E took on EuroCAD, same thing that we're looking for on AU. The only difference, AU will be looking for those downtrend pushes, ECAD where the uptrend pushes. Right? So again, it's just getting your charts ready to start capitalizing on the bigger moves. Could you capitalize on the internal moves? Absolutely. But it's also being able to see the external moves, the moves that you're going to catch later on in the market. You got to think of trading like a chessboard. You're getting the pieces ready. You could already see, okay, cool. If price gets up here, we could start looking for this. If price breaks up here, we could start looking for this. If price gets here and it gives us the inducement, okay, we know that we could take those trades up to the downtrend. That's where you got to start asking yourself, well, okay, how far could this downtrend push go? We know that we're still on an uptrend. We know that we have the gap here at the bottom that price could always retest these lows. Could give us a higher low into these areas to then continue back up. Right? Understanding that everything we're talking about is based on the 4-hour time frame as well. Price gave us a higher low, higher high. Could we be looking for a higher low down here for price to then continue back up into these higher highs? Absolutely. If price continues these downtrend pushes, then we know that price is going to, oh, that was a horrible line. Right? We know that price is going to continue these downtrend pushes down to these lows. If it induces these lows and we start making higher highs and higher lows, we know that we're targeting these next highs over here to then continue. If price does the same thing it did here and it did here where we induce these highs, then we know we're going to go back down. And what do we know this is already? A zone of consolidation, sideways movement, where price is rejecting highs. If price comes down here, or here rejected the lows, right? Price came back up here, rejected the highs. If price comes back down to these lows, gives us an inducement of these lows and goes back up, then we know that again, price rejected these lows and we're just in a zone of consolidation. And now we could start looking for those trades back up to the top side to go back to the top of the zone of consolidation. Right? So again, it's just getting your charts ready for everything that could happen, the possibilities of where price could go. Once you see the possibilities of where price could go, that's when you can start marking your charts, having different zones, right? Different levels, different points of interest to start looking for trades. And once you know when and where to exit, it makes it a lot easier to avoid the fake out trades. Right? It's a lot easier now to go into the 30-minute time frame. If you could see that on the daily and the 4 hour, it's a lot easier now to go to the 30-minute. Start looking for continuations. Start looking for the break. Start looking for the change of character. Start looking for the trend. Right? Comparing what happened last week to this week. The last week and the week before, what was price doing? Just consolidating. Until when? Until the beginning of the week, where price gave us the break of structure. That's it. It gave us the higher high and it continued to trend back up to the top side. Once it gave us the higher high point, all right, we know price is going to come down and give us a higher low. So keep that in mind, guys. It's very, again, trading is very simple once you learn these rules. Once you know the rules that the market could do, trading gets so much easier. So AUD-CAD gave us that change of character higher high again at the beginning of the session, where we said that we were just going to mark these highs, but price could definitely continue the trend, and that's exactly what it did. Right, early on in the session, we were talking about how EURUSD on the 15-minute time frame gave us a nice 15-minute engulfing candle. And to call out Muhammad was like, well, if this is the engulfing and you say that this could be a nice area to continue to trade, why not just take the trade right now? Right? And if you would have taken the trade at that moment, you would have went straight to stop loss. If you didn't capitalize on these small moves here and you didn't take profit because you were looking for the STP to be hit, you went straight to stop loss with that news candle that hit at 8:30 last night, which was AUD news as well. Now, why did we say that I'm still not interested in this area if we look at the trend, which we could see price making higher highs and higher lows the entire time, right? In these areas, when we're looking at where the previous higher highs and higher lows were, right? What is price doing? We were still trading between the higher low. And let's actually draw a trend line here to not confuse everybody, right? So why were these short positions low probability, and why wasn't I looking to take these trades, and what was I looking for before I start taking these trades back down to the bottom? Well, first and foremost, why wasn't I looking for the trade? Because we're still trading higher high and higher low. Like I explained yesterday, why would I take a short position? Listen to this question closely. Why would I take a short position on a bullish market? Why would I take a short position when price is still higher high and higher low? Understanding that, yes, the market is always going to print double bottoms. The market's always going to print bearish fair value gaps, and they're always going to print bearish order blocks, and they're always going to print bearish engulfing candles. The market is always going to give you fake signals. Again, this is a game between you and the market makers. What is the objective of you when you trade? Is to win. What's the objective of the market maker when they're moving the markets? Their objective is to win, right? And the way they win is by beating you, and the way you win is by beating them. So once you understand that, yes, you see double bottoms and you see exhaustion candles and you see engulfing candles going short, right? Bearish confirmations. You have to start seeing, well, okay, is this part of the inducement? Is this where the market makers are inducing traders to get into a trade, making them believe that they're in a downtrend to then go straight for their stop losses? And that's exactly what this was. It was the market makers inducing us to get into a trade, making us feel like, oh my God, look, we're going to miss this trade. We got exhaustion candles, and look at this fat candle that just printed down. We're going to start getting into these trades. And as soon as the market makers made you feel like you were missing out of this trade, what did they do? Boom, the news candle came out and hit everybody's stop loss. Everybody's stop loss. So it's just those little internal stuff that you guys need to capitalize on. This is the reason why you see us, we don't take none of these bullshit trades. This is the reason why I've only taken one loss this year. It's because I understand why would I take a short position when price is still giving me higher highs and higher lows. Is understanding that taking these positions, knowing that, okay, yes, was this technically following my rules? Yes. The only thing it wasn't following is the fact that we're not in a downtrend. We're not in a downtrend. We're still making higher highs and higher lows. If price would have given me the change of character, lower low, lower high, and it would have given me a break of structure, lower low, lower high, like I said yesterday, we know we could take those trades back down to the bottom. And okay, I'm cool with missing out of this trade up here, because if I catch a trade somewhere here after the change and after the break, we know that we could still capitalize on 23, 22 pips. I'm okay with 23 pips. 23 pips on a 2 pip, 3 pip stop loss, how much is that? You guys do the math. You guys are great at math. So, and we can see exactly what price did. It went down. It didn't give you a valid break. All of these candles were still testing the change of character line, right? That lower low never gave us a valid break of structure. So even if you took these trades, you had, we're on the 5 minute time frame, right? You had 5, 10, 15, you had 20 minutes to get out of this trade before that news hits. Because that's another thing you have to be aware of. Are you trading with the news? And if you know that you're trading a news candle and you could already see that before the news, price is already giving you the reasons as to why you should get out, which were, again, in this case, the testing candles never gave you a valid break. It even printed a fake engulfing candle on the 5 minutes. So it gave you every confirmation here to get out of the trade early. So, and if, again, if you didn't cash out and you waited and you said, fuck it, this is, news is going to push this down because look how much volume we have already. It's going to continue. You went straight to stop loss. And that sucks because 90% of brokers, if you trade news and you have a stop loss, your stop loss might not even get triggered. So you might not have even had your stop loss up here triggered. Your stop loss might have triggered higher. So you probably blew your account if you traded this. Right? So, but again, that was a great question that Muhammad asked because, again, that's the good thing about trading and having different people, around you, which is some people are scared to ask those questions because they don't want to look stupid. And I even said it last night. You're like, great fucking question. Like, thank you for questioning why I'm not doing something or why I'm doing something, because that's the way to learn, right? Because just from that question alone, I was able to give you guys so much information like I just did today, right? Without those questions, we would have just skipped over it. And I would have been like, you know what? If there's no questions, I understood why. So if nobody's asking questions, then I assume that you guys already know what it is that I'm talking about. So that's why questions are good. There is no such thing as a stupid question. There's always good questions. Every question's a good question. If there's something that's not making sense, if you feel like you have to question something and be like, okay, but why are you doing this? Feel free to let me know. Feel free to tell me, yo, Lewis, this shit is stupid. This doesn't make sense. Like, I'm lost. Feel free to tell me that. I will gladly do everything I can to make it make sense. And I'll draw it out for you guys. Because again, what we talked about yesterday, we drew it out. Everything I said before it happened, I said it was going to happen, and it fucking happened. And it's not because I'm the market maker. It's not because I'm Neo from the Matrix. No, I'm just a nerd, bro. I studied these charts for 14, 16 hours a day for 3 years straight. Like, I'm just a nerd, right? The same way that when I was competing in COD, I knew every single spawn. I knew exactly where you were spawning before you even spawned. Not because I'm cheating, because I was playing the game for 16 hours a day. So, it's the exact same thing. Every single chart that we've talked about this week has done exactly what it is that we've talked about. It's crazy. Euro, what's good, Kendall? Finally, you back. Yo, I was talking about you the first like 10 minutes. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna wait for this guy because I know he's gonna join. You joined right on time though. Euro AUD, I just want to go to the daily time frame real quick. It's a 30 minutes, not giving me enough information. Right, so we know that Euro AUD, we're still in level 3 on an uptrend. Higher time frames, we're stuck in the zone of consolidation where price is just rejecting highs and rejecting lows. So we're back at the lows that price has rejected before. So again, could this be an area to start looking for trades? Absolutely. The only thing that's missing, right, 4-hour time frame, we could already see the exhaustion candles. You know, the 30-minute time frame, we already understood that we're at a lower low. So right now, the only thing that we have is knowing that we're at a lower low. Price has to give us a lower high, so those pullbacks, those pushes to the top side, once the lower high is set, that's when we can start looking to take those trades back to the top side. Now again, understanding that we're still trading lower low and lower high, I'm not looking to take these trades and fucking going all the way back to the top side. My first target as to where my lower high is going to be the internal moves. Meaning if I take a trade somewhere here at a lower low, what am I targeting? Lower high. Right? So my TP has to be somewhere in this area. If price breaks these highs, we have clean traffic to go where? To these highs over here. Once price gets to these highs, we know that we also have our second point of interest as to where the lower high could be, which is the 800 EMA. Right above the 800, we have the gap. So we have so many points of interest to continue to be like, okay, if it breaks here, we go here. Boom. If it breaks here, we go here. Boom. We filled the gap up. Right? We come back up to these highs. Boom. If it breaks here, we continue. Up to where? Up to these highs over here. Right? If it breaks these highs, we know we could go up to where? To these highs over here. Right? Just bear with me. Like, you guys could see that this is crystal fucking clear. Crystal fucking clear. Right? If we break these highs, where do we go? We have clean traffic all the way back up to the 30-minute high. Right? And again, understanding the overall move, why are we looking for a price to move like this? Is because again, we're in a zone of consolidation where price has rejected these lows. Let's do this with the highlighter so it's a little bit more visible. Right? Rejected these lows, went back to the top. Rejected the lows again, went back to the top. Rejected the lows again, went to the middle. Rejected the lows again, went back to the top. That was a horrible line. You guys see what I'm saying? And it's doing the same thing. You can see I have this marked up in the daily time frame. If it gives us a break of these lows, we know we're going to go back down to these lows. And if it breaks these lows, we know we're going to go back down to these lows, which are the internal lower low, lower high, and lower low at one point, which was the 5-minute time frame. So we could delete these boxes already. Right? Because technically too, we did get a validated small valid break. So we could delete these boxes already. And understanding that we are still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low on the 4-hour and the daily time frame. So we are still looking for price, technically speaking right now, to continue these higher high pushes to the top side. Could price give us a steeper pullback? Absolutely. Price could always give us a steeper pullback. So again, it's just about waiting for price to give us the confirmations, waiting for price to give us exactly what it is that we need to see before taking the trade. If we take a trade early, like we saw last night on what was it, AUD CAD, we know we're gonna get hit. Our stop loss, we're gonna get hit. So we have to just be patient. We have 2 days of drop. After 2 days of drop, what could we be expecting? A third day push. We're still making lower lows and lower highs. We have to be patient. I've been here. Lies, man. I texted you at fucking 9 and you ain't even text me back. You didn't even say hi in the stream. So we'll be patient with EA. Definitely gonna be one to keep an eye on though. EuroCAD, we had 2 days of drop, gave us a third day. After 3 days of drop, the market must move sideways or go up. We also have a change of character down to the bottom. Price gave us a lower low. So let's update this real quick. Oh, my nose itches. And it looks like price went below the 4-hour too, right? Yeah. So we'll check the 4-hour time frame as well. Right? And we know that we're trading between these 30-minute highs all the way up here. And for now, we are trading between these 30-minute lows down here. And on the 4-hour time frame, price gave us a little closure below. So we are now trading, right? We had higher high, higher low. On the 4 hour, we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price gave us a 4 hour change of character, lower low down here. So let's mark this as the 4 hour change of character. Oh, my bad. Alright, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price gave us the lower low, but we didn't get a closure, a body. I didn't see that I was on the 1 hour, that's on me. On the 4 hour, we did not get the valid break just yet. So I'm not gonna change this yet. This was just a wick. This is still an inducement, right? And we know that we're still in peak high. So we're still technically on an uptrend as well on the daily time frame. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Right? This could still be a higher low on the 4 hour time frame. It gave us the inducement of the low at the higher low. 30-minute, however, again, we are still making lower lows and lower highs. So this is going to be a trade where, could you take trades in these areas? Of course. Right, 5-minute time frame, we're still making lower low, lower high, lower low. We would want to see a change of character, break of structure. But on the 1 minute, we had lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Higher high, lower low, and then we still haven't gotten the change or the break just yet. So, could you get ready to start looking for trades on EuroCAD? Absolutely. I'll be looking for price to start giving me a change of character and a break of structure above these highs, which are also above the 800 EMA. So if we could get that change and we could get that break and we could get the break above the 800, we know we could continue to look for these trades back to the top side. Again, price going from a lower low into a lower high. So we'll be patient with EuroCAD. Could be a very interesting pair to trade. For Euro USD, right? Price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, then gave us a lower low change of character down here. Again, it's just a change of character. This could still be an inducement to continue the push back to the top side to follow through with the overall uptrend move that we're in. So this is going to be another pair where 5-minute time frame, 1-minute time frame is going to be very important. GA. This is a pair in peak high territory, so I'm not actively trading this just yet. 4-hour time frame, price gave us lower low, lower high, and gave us a lower low. So GA is finally starting. It's finally giving us the confirmations, right? Some confirmations that we're going to start this downtrend move, right? Going from an uptrend now has turned to a downtrend after it completed the 3 pushes. Again, we know we're at a lower low. We have these gaps at the top of the market. I already know my first point of interest to start looking for trades going back down is going to be once we reach these gaps at the top of the market. Once price gives us this lower high, that's when I'll start looking for price to start the downtrend move to then give us another lower low. So GA will be patient with it. This is definitely a pair where the next couple days, next couple weeks, it's going to be, and next couple months too, it's going to be a very simple pair to trade. Very simple trade. Or a very simple pair to trade. GCAD. Again, let's go to the daily time frame real quick just to see where we're at. We know we're still trading higher high and higher low. Specifically, if we go down to the 4-hour as well, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high. We're just looking for that higher low to be set. 30-minute time frame. Price gave us a change of character, lower low, right? Gave us 2 days of drop. Could we still be looking for price to go a little bit lower, possibly into those 4-hour lows? Could happen. So again, with GCAD, we'll be patient. This is another pair that in the next couple days, next couple weeks, even next couple months, this is going to be the pair to keep an eye on. Taking these trades at the lows, right? Taking the trades at the higher lows, going back up to the higher highs. So we'll have a few weeks of straight profits from GCAD as well. Very similar to what EuroCAD is doing. So we'll be patient with that. GJ gave us a day of drop yesterday, continued the trend, gave us the higher high, then just gave us a lower low change of character. I'm not gonna mark this as lower low, lower high, lower low. All of this is pretty much part of the same trend, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This all trended all the way down to the bottom. Price never stopped and never gave us really a big pullback. It didn't consolidate. It just trended the entire time. We have 2 days of drop. Could we be looking for that third day push for price to continue? It could. It gave us a nice engulfing candle right after the news as well. Gave us a small retest and then went up for a little bit. So you could have capitalized on a trade on GJ. But we're still on a downtrend with GJ, so we'll be patient. I am still overall bullish. Once again, we know that these gaps were left behind. So we'll have to be patient. And again, this is pretty much where price gave us that break of the zone of consolidation that gave us the higher high. So technically, again, we are still looking for price to give us a higher low, right? Even internally, price gave us a zone of consolidation. It gave us the break of structure, higher high. We are still looking for a higher low to be set, right? And if we're looking at which lows and which highs I'm looking at, this higher low and this higher high. Could price pull back down into these lows and give you a higher low here? For sure. And that's the point of interest that I'm looking at based on that 30-minute gap that we have on the market at these lows. Looking at how the EMAs are shaping up as well. Looking at the structure on the internal time frame. Like, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. So once price gets down to these lows, if it gives us an inducement of these lows, we're going back up to the top side to make another higher high. And again, we'll capitalize on those trades back to the top side. Catching my piece of the pie. So even GJ is going to be a good pair to continue to look for the next couple days, next couple months. And then obviously keep it on all what we could trade today. That's going to be the question. That's why I want to update these charts, get a little break in, like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, get back on the charts and do the live session for Asia session. Clear my eyeballs. But I took a much needed break from the charts today, man. I was so fucking pressed all day. Alright, buddy. We'll zoom in. Make it easier for me. This is the higher high, higher low, higher high, boom, change of character. Lower low, and we're trading between those highs up there and these lows down here. We also have 2 days of drop. Could we be looking for a third day push down to the bottom? It could give us that push. So even GU right now is still looking a little bit bearish, but I'm not expecting it to be bearish. Very similar to EU. I'm not expecting price to continue those downtrend pushes, but we'll see. We'll see what price does. NZD USD gave us higher high, higher low, and then higher high, lower low, change of character. We're trading between these lows down here and these highs all the way up here. Price gave us a day of drop after 2 days where price was moving sideways. Gave us a push to the top side, then gave us a push to the bottom. This push to the bottom went down. It filled that 30-minute gap that we had at the bottom, and then continued that trend to the top side. This is definitely a trade that was like a missed opportunity, because this is what we were looking for. But yeah, I wasn't gonna trade that news, but I was like, fuck that. I'm not on the charts today. I'll let the professional traders trade news, man. That's not me. Again, unless something is crystal clear. Which, let's see if I would have been on the charts. Let's see what would have happened. So we had the change of character, lower low, boom, high. We were looking for the valid break, right? When you're looking at the candles, did it give you a valid break? Technically speaking, yes, it gave you a valid break here. Now the only thing that it didn't give us a valid break of was the 800 EMA. So this was right at the news, right? 2 p.m. It gave us the break with this candle. It came up, gave us a retest. It gave us the inducement of the highs. As soon as the inducement of the highs was made, that's when I would have gotten into the trade. Now, would I have really gotten into this trade? Let's go back. Or would I have waited? And let's go through both rules. I would have most likely gotten into this trade. Why? Even though we didn't break below the 800 EMA, we had the cross of the 50 and the 200. We had the retest of the EMAs, right? And again, we waited for the inducement. So I wouldn't have gotten in as soon as we had price bounce off the 50, get in. No, that's just another confirmation, just another indicator. I'm looking at how the candlesticks are behaving. The fact that the candlestick gave us an exhaustion candle, and that exhaustion candle gave us the inducement of these lower lows, lower highs, right? Boom. I waited for this candle to print. The next candle, I would have taken that trade here, right? And this is where you guys will see me. This is what I would call an aggressive trade, right? This would have been the trade here with my stop loss at 2 fucking pips above that wick, and my TP at STP for the day, which was also pretty much the target of the gap. It would have been a 2 pip stop loss with a 42 pip TP of 1 to 18. It doesn't get much easier than fucking that, right? So let's say I wouldn't have taken that trade on NZD USD and I would have waited for a break below the 800, right? Did we get the break below the 800? Yes. We got the break here with this candle. What else did we get? We get price bounce off the 50. We had price bounce off the 800. So even if I wouldn't have taken this trade up here, and I would have seen these movements here, and we would have seen the break, we would have had the retest, I would have taken the trade here right on the 50 or the 800 EMA. My stop loss internally, right, would be these highs over here. Same fucking stop loss. 2.3 pip stop loss. My TP would have been same shit, the gap. It would have been a 37 pip TP, a 1 to 16. So again, the same question and pretty much the same thing that I said with EURUSD. You guys really think I'm gonna cry about losing 2% when I just caught 16? Like, you really think I'm gonna sit here and be like, damn, I should have taken the trade earlier, I would have gotten 18%, when I just got 16% back? Like, are we fucking serious? That's why I always try to tell you guys, like, I'm not in a rush. Right now, again, would I have really taken this trade today? No, because it's news. I don't trade news. I don't mess with it. Now, could you take trades during news? Yeah, yo, if you want to take trades during news and really be precise with it, the same way that you just saw that I did, you could take it. But it's not part of my plan. I'm okay with missing this trade, because this trade will appear again and again and again. It doesn't have to be a news day. This happens regularly on the charts. You just have to be present for it. Right? It happens all the time. Would you have taken that early AU trade? Let's go back to AU real quick. Just like before news or around what time? I'm assuming you're like the same thing with that other pair that we just did, right? I'm assuming is the question. Let's see. We had a higher high, higher low, higher high. Price came down, gave us a change of character. Lower low. Price came back to the highs. Right? So on the 1 minute, we know that we're not looking at structure 100%, but we know that we're looking at structure making higher highs or lower lows, right? So this is where we'll have these highs here. And again, the reason I'm using this is because pretty much this is going to be a too small of a box. So I'm just looking at where the last highs were, where we rejected, which we rejected here, we rejected here, and that's where price started to push, right? So I'm going to be looking at these highs, right? So we know that we're looking at these highs. Did price tap into them? No, but we got close, right? As soon as price got close to it, what did we see? Well, okay, we look at the internal time frame on the 1 minute. Price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Boom. This is still not news, right? News came out at 14, so it's around here, right? What did we get? Change of character, right? Boom. News hit. We haven't gotten the break of structure yet. We got the break of structure. When did we get the break of structure? With these pushes down all the way over here, right? It gave us the break of structure. Not only did it give us the break, but it gave us the break below the 800. Cool. We know we're in level 3. We're looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. Boom, 50 EMA. Not only did we bounce off the 50, but we got a beautiful retest of the break. So where would I have taken this trade? If I would have taken this trade again, I would have done the same thing we did with the other pair. We got in on the retest, right? We waited for these candles. We saw exhaustion candles, boom, boom, whatever. We got on the retest. Stop loss above this over here at 1.8 pips. You know, the only thing is now you said STP was already hit. So let's look at where I would have cashed out or what I would have done on this pair. So let's do the math. So 53 minus 33% is what, 35 pips? Alright, cool. 35 pips were already hit with STP. It was, right? So I would go about this in two ways. Again, just looking at market structure. Right, what are we looking at? What am I targeting? At this point, we're just looking for lower lows and lower highs. Right, we understand that again, overall we were trading between, and let's mark this up, right? On the 1 minute time frame, we're trading between these lows over here. Right, so we're looking for a lower low to be set. So I would have most likely had my lows. I would have most likely had my TP set at these lows over here. 19 pips, little 1 to 10. Now, oh, but look, price went so much lower. Cool, I don't care. I caught my piece of the pie. You think I'm going to cry that I got a 1 to 10? Again, a 10% increment on my account. You think I'm really going to cry over that? No. I'm not. Personally, I'm not. So that's what I would have been looking at. 15-minute engulfing at the highs inside the 1 hour engulfing. Yeah, you had a 1 hour engulfing there. Right, you had a 15-minute engulfing. Would I have taken this early trade? I probably wouldn't have. I would have waited for the confirmations. So this is one area where we had the 15-minute engulfing, so it gave you early confirmations. And again, if you would have used the 15-minute engulfing, that still would have been a 4 pip stop loss with a 25 pip TP. You're still chilling. You're still eating. All right, a 1 to 8, 1 to 7. So if you would have taken that trade too, yeah, it's a little bit, again, it's still a little aggressive trade, right? Because that engulfing candle was printed before you even had the change and the break, right? So I probably would have waited for that first internal confirmation, which would have been that 1 minute internal change and break of structure. That this is where I would have taken the trade. I wouldn't have taken that 15-minute over here. So again, I'm okay with missing out on the first initial six pips. I'm okay with missing out of the first initial 6 pips. Right? This is what I always say. And again, the same thing that we said about EURUSD, right? Same thing that we said about that other pair that we just did that I don't remember which one it was. GCAD? No. Then what pair were we? Oh, NZD-USD. Right? Same exact thing that we just did on NZD-USD. The exact same thing. And again, you know that you could, even with the STP rule, oh, but STP was hit. Yeah, but we know we're trading news. If, again, a regular day, would I have taken that trade on a regular day? No. STP's already hit. I'm done trading. But on a day like today, on a day where you have high impact news at 2 p.m., whether it's FOMC or NFP or CPI, right? On a day where there's news at 2 p.m., you know that you're going to catch a movement. Right? Again, the question you just have to ask yourself, let's go back to this with AU, right? What am I targeting for TP? Since STP is already hit, right? What am I going to be targeting for the day? Is structure. So instead of targeting STP, okay, cool, we know we're going to get volume. The question is, we don't know how much volume we're going to get. So I'm not just going to guess. I'm not just going to put my TP at a place where I feel like, oh, I feel like I want to catch a 1 to 20 today, so I'm going to put my TPs at 1 to 20. Oh, I feel like I'm going to risk a 1 to 6, so I'm going to just put my TP at a 1 to 6. No, fuck that. I don't feel nothing, bro. I'm not I don't have psychic powers, bro. I don't feel nothing. Like, for some reason, God doesn't talk to me. God doesn't come to my ear and tell me, yo, put a 1 to 8. No, bro. Like, what I feel is what I see, and what I see is market structure. So if I know that on the 1 minute time frame we're trading between these highs and these lows, I'm going to target, if I'm looking for the shorts, right? This is the lower low. I'm going to target the previous lower low. It's very simple. If you're trading lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, I'm going to target. If I take those trades at the lower high, I'm going to target my TP at the lower lows. That's it. It's that simple because you don't have to question yourself. After that lower low is set, you have to start questioning yourself. Oh, the lower low is set. How much lower could the lower low go? Oh, it went lower. How much lower could it go? And how much, like, I'm not chasing that. I know for a fact that price has to make a new low. I'm okay with taking my take profit at that new low because that's 100% guaranteed. Everything else after that lower low is not guaranteed. It's not a guaranteed trade because you don't know how much lower price could go. Price eventually will have to give you a pullback. You see what I'm saying? So it's just making, like, you have to simplify trading. The less questions you ask yourself and the more 100% probabilities you give yourself, the easier trading will be. And again, you guys have seen it with every single pair that's here. And again, this isn't me talking in hindsight because the same thing that I'm saying today, I said it last night. Before the market printed what it's printing, we already talked about this. We already knew what was going to happen before it happened. But again, I don't trade news. I'm okay with letting price do what it has to do today. So then once we start trending and the market conditions get a little bit better, we know what we're looking for. It's not a guessing game. We knew we had this gap. We knew price was going to come back down. Price didn't give you a valid break of these highs. You start looking for these short positions on US 30. Again, on a regular trading day, I'm taking this shit. 100%. And I'm 100% sure we have a confirmation somewhere in here, whether it's the 5 minute or the 1 minute time frame, where we could have looked for a trade. Again, I don't trade news. I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. Right? Price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. I'm sorry, lower low, change of character, lower high, lower low, inducement. Came back up, gave us a higher high, change of character. Here, higher low, higher high, but this higher high wasn't I'm sorry, a change of character, right, instead of a break. And then price gave us a change of character, lower low, lower high, and then it gave us a break of structure, lower low. There you go. Price is bouncing off the 50, we're on the 800, we're looking for price to give us a valid break of the 800, right? We got the valid breaks down here, right? Once we got these valid breaks, we got the pullback, peak high, we're looking for price bounce off the 50, we bounce off the 50. So boom, you want to take a trade on US 30, the same exact fucking entry that all the other pairs gave today. Boom, bouncing off the 50, your stop loss above the structure, which is over here, right? At US 30 is a really big pair, so you're having a 48 pip stop loss, which is okay. You're on the 1 minute, it's not that much. And then your TPs are going to be the gaps, right, on the 30-minute time frame. Now again, let's take a step back on US 30. Let's calculate STP, right? 706 pips minus 33% is 473. Was STP hit today on US 30 going long? It did. 474 pips. So exactly. Yo, Lewis, STP's hit. What would you target? What are you looking for your target for TP? We have two targets on the 5 minute, right? On the 1 minute, let's see. On the 1 minute, it was just the gap, right? So let's say you wanted to look at the 5 minute time frame and look for your TP at the 5 minute. You had the 800 EMA. So if you wanted your first TP just to be simple, if you wanted your first TP to just be price to fill the gap here on the 1 minute time frame, then perfect. You got a 1 to 4. You're going to cry it about a 1 to 4? Alright, let's say you wanted to be greedy and you want a little bit more. Price on the 800 EMA. Cool, 1 to 5. If you wanted 1% more. So again, trades are always going to be present. Always. Would have been a beautiful trade on US 30 as well. That's 3 trades you could have taken with the news. Right after the news too. It's not even during the news. Right after the news. But again, these are moves that happen all the time on the charts, even without news. The reason I don't feel attached the way you see these people online who are like, oh my god, FOMC, and they're celebrating that they're getting on the charts. I don't feel that way. Because at the end of the day, during news, price could do whatever it wants to do. And because I know that, based on my back testing, not only based on my back testing, but based on my trades before when I was trading a lot every single day and losing, with my back testing, I realized that, hey, understand that trading news, you have a 50% chance of winning, a 50% chance of losing. And I'm not a 50-50 trader, bro. I'm not a gambler. So I'm okay with not trading news. I'm okay with not trading news. Again, does that mean that I'm never trading news? No. Look at you at the one USD CAD trade that I took this year. That was during news. And I took that trade by accident because I didn't even know there was news. I woke up and I didn't even check. So again, is it possible to trade news? Absolutely, you could do it. I personally decide to stay away. That's just my style of trading. Do you have to follow the same rules? If you don't want to and you want to trade news, by all means, go ahead. But don't come crying to me the one time that you trade news and you start losing. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have taken this trade. Like, yo, I don't have to hit myself at night knowing that I took a 50-50 trade and I lost. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't want to live with the guilt of the same guilt that I live with GCAD. One fucking mistake, one rule that I didn't follow costed my 20-win streak at the beginning of the year. That shit sucks. Yeah, again, I'm a competitor. I don't like losing. I think about it too much. The same way that I wasn't caught. Yo, if I made a stupid play in the game and I'm the reason why we lost that game, I'm thinking about that play every single day for the next fucking month and a half. I can't move on past it because I understand that the more I think about it and the more I see it in the gameplay, I know not to do that same mistake again. It's the same way in trading. If I made a mistake before, if I knew that I made this mistake, I took a trade going short when price was going higher, high, higher, low. I'm thinking about that shit every fucking day. And then the next time that I see that same shit happening, I already know, yo, I'm not taking that fucking trade. It's the same thing with news. I don't feel some type of way about trading news. I don't feel anxious that I'm missing out on a pair. I'm not anxious that I'm missing out on moves that, oh, news is going to make the fucking market move. The market moves every day. The markets move every day. What am I missing out on? A regular trading day? Like, we don't miss trading days on a regular? My rule that allows me to have a 100% win rate. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with knowing that right now my trading journal looks fucking crystal clean. I'm okay with knowing that I only took one loss this year. I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with knowing that I am going to miss out on some opportunities. I'm okay with it. Because the opportunities that I do catch, again, I'm catching 1 to 15s. Give me the entry. I'm taking it. And that happens a handful of times a year. People pray to catch a 1 to 15 once in their life. A 1 to 15 on a 100K account, it changes your life. I'm not trying to chase that one roller coaster. I'm trying to get that shit every time I trade. And I know I'm going to catch it every time I trade, following my rules. Again, my trading journal is public. You guys can look at it. Look at the beginning of the year, the first 4 months. If I wanted to not trade for the next year, I could have done it. The numbers are there. That's the reality of trading. But understand that that reality of trading is only going to happen to you if you put in the time to really learn about the shit that you gotta learn about in trading. Without the proper knowledge, without the proper information, without the proper training, you're not going to be able to do it. It's going to be very difficult. Again, you might get lucky. Right? You passed the funded account. Okay. You passed phase 1. Go past phase 2. You passed phase 1 and phase 2. Go secure your first payout. How many traders fail before they even secure a payout? The stats are there. I've seen it. I tried opening a prop firm earlier this year. Only 2% of traders actually secure a payout. 90% of traders fail after passing phase 1. Most people don't even go through phase 2. Most people don't even get to the funded phase. Think about that. So again, I'm okay with missing the news because I'm not trying to catch this once in a lifetime. I'm trying to catch this whenever it shows up in the charts. I'm trying to be consistent with it. And trading news is not consistency. You're gambling. Trading news is gambling. So that's pretty much it, guys. It's good isolation sessions. A lot of good gems for today, man. So AU, I'm didn't really see anything too crazy for us here. We could keep an eye on ACAD for Asia session. Let's start looking at this again. The 1 minute's really gonna be where price gave us the entry, right? Because on the 5 minute, we could say on the 5 minute we had higher high, higher low, higher high two, lower low, change character, lower high, lower low. Price gave us the lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We're still making lower lows and lower highs on AUD CAD. We broke below the 800. We're bouncing off the 200 EMA, right? We're in A1. The 50 crawls below the 200. I'm trying to see if we have an engulfing candle or something to look for an entry here. But nothing on the 4, nothing on the 30, nothing on the 1. And again, we said on the 1 minute we're still trading between, and technically we are. Okay, let me see. Lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low with the opening candle. Then price gave us the higher high, change of character, higher low, right? We got a higher high break above the 800 here. Then price gave us a change of character, lower low. Then it gave us an inducement of these lows, and we started back up again here. I would just count this as a continuation of this trend here, because it was just an inducement candle. Price hasn't broken these highs yet, so if we could get price to get a break below these lows, right? If we could get price to break below these lows down here, and if price continues to respect these highs, right, then we'll start looking for those trades. We have the change, and we're looking for a break below here. Will also be a break below the 1 minute, the 200 EMA on the 1 minute time frame. So this is going to be a good pair to keep an eye on for Asia session. So AUD CAD will keep this on. Let me write this down. All right, so AUD CAD. Euro AUD, we know we're trading at the lower low. 5 minute time frame, we're still lower low, lower high, lower low. On the 1 minute time frame, we have high, low, 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 low. Then we have high, and we're trading between, right, change of character, higher high, higher low. It gave us an inducement high. We're still trading between this low here. All right, we have the change, and we're looking for a valid break, right? Did price give us a valid break? Let's take a look. Of these highs over here, it did not give us a valid break, so we're trading between these lows. Right, and we're looking for price to give us a break of these highs here. Right, because it already gave us a change of character. So let's draw this out so we're not confused at what we're looking for. So we have the change of character on the 1 minute. That happened here. And again, we're looking for price to go from a lower low into a lower high. So we know we could take these trades to the top side if we get a valid break. This will be a pretty simple trade to take. So we're trading between these highs and these lows. If price goes back to these lows, gives us an inducement, starts making higher highs and higher lows again, we know we could take these trades. The easiest trade is going to be to wait for price to give us those breaks above these highs on the 1 minute time frame, and then start taking these trades back to these top sides over here. So AUD CAD, we'll look for it. Euro AUD, we'll look for it on Asia session. Euro CAD. Right, we got the inducements of those lows of the 4 hour. We made the lower lows on the lower time frame. on the 1 minute time frame, low, lower, high, lower, low, then higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. Then higher, high, then lower, low, change of character. We're looking for price to give us a change of character of these highs here, which technically it gave it to us here, but we haven't gotten a pullback just yet. Alright, so we'll wait for that. So EuroCAD is another one to keep an eye on for tonight. Alright, EuroCAD, EURUSD. Price gave us a change of character, lower low. Overall, this is a pair. It's a USD pair, so I'm not going to keep this on for Asia session, but I do want to see a lower pullback. But I'm not going to trade EURUSD during Asia session, so we'll skip over that one. GA, this is one in peak high territory, so I'm not going to trade it either for now. I'm not going to be interested in taking these pullbacks to the top side. For GCAD, we're in level 3 on an uptrend. We're back at the higher lows on the 4-hour time frame. Price still giving us lower lows and lower highs. It gave us that change of character, lower low on the 30-minute time frame. 5-minute, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Lower high, lower low. Price gave us a change of character with the opening candle. Went down, gave us a little higher low. If we could get the 50 to cross above the 200, and if price could give us the valid break on the 5-minute time frame, this could be a good one to keep an eye on. GCAD as well. For GJ, price has 2 days of drop. This is a pair where we know we made the higher highs and we're looking for a higher low to be made. We're below the EMAs. We still know we have these gaps at the bottom. That price could go a little bit steeper down, give us the higher low that we're looking for. 30-minute time frame, right? Price gave us a change of character low. All of this is part of the same trend. If we go down to the 5-minute, we had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, boom, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price gave us a change of character, right? Higher high, higher low. Right, where I would say this is where we had the change of character here. Right, boom, change of character, higher high. Then we had the higher low, and we're looking for price to give us a valid break. So right now, right, if we mark this up again, this is where the change of character was given. Right, I'm gonna ignore the noise that we had during the news. Right, so all of this was just inducement candles. So we waited for the change, right, which then gave us the higher high over here. This is the 5-minute BOS, where price did not give us that valid break. Right, just gave us the inducement candle. So if price comes to these lows down here and it gives us a break of these lows, then we know GJ is going to go down. Right, and if GJ goes down, once again, that's okay. Right, we already have both sides of the table marked up. If price rejects these highs, then we understand that what is price doing? Going down into the 3rd-day lows. We have 2 days of drop. After 2 days of drop, the market is going to give us that 3rd-day push. So if price decides to give us a short confirmation, we could take a trade somewhere in these areas going short. TP is going to be yesterday's lows. Stop loss is going to be somewhere within structure, right? It could be a simple 1 to 4, even a 1 to 6, 1 to 7 trade, depending on the time frame that we take the trade and how big the stop loss is going to be based on what rules we are using to look for those entries, right? And on the 1 minute, we want to be a little bit greedier and look at the 1 minute. 1 minute time frame, pretty much same structure. Yeah, pretty much same exact structure on the 1 minute time frame. So no engulfing candles on any time frame right now. So we'll be patient. GJ is also one we're gonna keep an eye on for tonight. So GBPJPY, GU, similar again to EU. I'm not gonna look at the USD pairs during Asia session. NZD USD already hit STP for the day, so we could turn this one off. US 30, I'm not going to look at that during Asia session. USD CAD is another one I'm not going to look at during Asia. We'll wait till the NYC session for that. USDs are same thing. I'll wait for the NYC session. Gold could be a good one. Where again, gold pretty much gave us a 30-minute break of 30-minute change, and it did give us that 30-minute break of structure. So technically, we are on the 30 minutes. Still looks like we're gonna continue that downtrend push. Could we go down to the lower? Well, let's go to the higher time frame real quick. Do we have any engulfing candles? No. Nothing on the 30. Nothing on the 15. 5-minute time frame structure is lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, higher high. We're trading between these highs and these lows on the 5 minutes, so we don't even have 5-minute structure to go with. On the 1 minute, we still have higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, change of character, lower high, lower low, break of structure. Gave you the retest of the 800, even gave you an entry on gold today, right? Then it gave you lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then it gave you a change of character, higher high, higher low. It gave you the inducement, and then on the 1 minute time frame, now it gave you a change of character back down to the bottom. So gold, I'm not liking the area. We're trading at a lower low still. I'm not gonna be looking at gold till NYC session. We'll see what could happen there. Bitcoin, I'm not trading it. I'm gonna just turn that off. I'm not even gonna focus on that. And then oil gave us a nice change and a nice break. It gave us a nice zone of consolidation. This is another pair where I would have loved to have seen a steeper pullback, a steeper lower high point to then go into the lower lows. So I'm still not convinced with US oil. 4-hour time frame, the 200 hasn't crossed below the 50 just yet. Price is still sitting on the 800 EMA, and all the EMAs are bunched up. So right now, what's not clear is the direction of the market. But what is clear is that whatever move it decides to make, it's going to be a very fast move. That is what happens when the EMAs are all bunched up together, right? So right now, again, is this a pair where right now I feel anxious? I'm like, oh, I gotta get in because I know that when the EMAs are bunched up, it's gonna move quick. No, because again, previous to looking at the EMAs, we already established that right now there is no solid confirmations that let us know where price wants to go. So yes, even though the EMAs are bunched up and we're looking for price to move quick, the question is, where is price going to move to? What direction is price going to move to? And right now there is no solid confirmations on US oil. There's not enough confirmation on the chart for me to be able to say I know where the market is going to move to, right? So US oil, I'm going to turn that off. If it gives us a move, perfect, then we know we could catch the continuations. If it doesn't give us a move and it gives us the inducement of these lows, then perfect. So again, if price breaks below the 800 and it gives a clean breaks and clean structure, then we know we could continue those trends back down to the bottom. But without those valid breaks, I have no trade. There is nothing crystal clear here for me to trade. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have 5 pairs to look at for Asia session. And we're gonna do a part 2 of the stream as well. We'll go live again with the Asia session, with the live trading session for Asia session. Any questions in the chat, guys? Let me know. Anything you guys want me to go over? Anything you guys want me to explain again? Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. Yo. Yo, Kendall, look at what I just texted you. No, I'm gonna go rewatch from the beginning and see if I have any questions. I was looking at NU at first, but then STP got hit. Yeah. Yeah, I guess like my answers even to like NU, like it would be the same answer as the other ones. Like on a day where news is like where you know is news, you know there's gonna be more volume in the market, right? Could you take a trade even after STP? Yeah, the same thing we saw with AU, the same thing we saw with ECAD or whatever the other pairs were that we went on. You know, the same thing that we saw in gold and US 30. The there's nothing more to it. When the EMAs are all bunched up, when they look like this especially on the 30-minute time frame, when the EMAs are all bunched up together, when they're all super close, like on a regular basis, you see the EMAs, all three of them, they're all always separate, always separate. They're never bunched up together like if you were holding them tight in your hands, right? Every time you see it, right? EMAs are all fanned out. They're not touching. They're not all three of them are squabbled up together, right? When they start getting squabbled up together, when they're all bunched up, that's when the move is gonna happen, right? Boom, an explosion, and then the trend starts again, right? You go look for it again on the chart, right here. They're all bunched up together. You know a move is gonna happen. Boom, price explodes, right? This is a piece of gem you've never learned before, but again, can't give you guys all the gems all at once, right? Boom, EMAs are all bunched up together, right? Did we fucking take the trade? Of course, we got the change, we got the break. What else do we want to see? EMAs are bunched up straight into profit, right? But I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, Kendall. I'm just a fucking lousy fuck. I'm just a nobody when it comes to trading. I don't know what I'm talking about, bro. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Go, go fucking look at the text I sent you so you can see. That's what I'm about to start doing, bro. EMAs are all bunched up together, right? You're looking for the explosion move. Boom, back to the top side. Again, when all three EMAs are bunched up, the 50, the 200, the 800 EMA, that's when you know a price is gonna move. Price is going to start moving, right? Didn't really happen here. Again, it doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens, you know what's gonna come next. Right, and I can't go further back than this is already the beginning of the year. I know we had news, so we could expect a lot of volume, but STP didn't feel comfortable. Yeah, again, that's more than fine. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, this is where psychology is a big thing. Like, you can't start now going around and be like, "Oh, I regret not taking a trade. I regret this." Like, no, like it is what it is. You have your rules. The same way that I have my rules with news that I don't trade news is the same way with the rules with STP. Like, but now again, you know it for the future. You have information that allows you to feel more comfortable taking trades after STP is hit. You look at each trades. Not all of his trades are straight STP. Look at the trade he took the other night on EURUSD. STP was already hit before he took the trade, which was what, 58 pips on EURUSD? And he took the trade regardless, but he took the trade looking at structure. Which again, all right, you took the trade. You know STP already got hit. You gotta look at structure. That's it. It's the same thing. You take a trade with news. What are you looking for? You take the trade 15 minutes after news, which happened today. Again, it's what it is. You know, you can't make yourself feel bad for doing what? Like, what makes today different than tomorrow? Nothing. That we had a little bit more volume, but when you look at your rules, you're looking for the same rules. The same thing that happened today is going to happen tomorrow and is going to happen next week. When you look for your setup, you're looking for your setup. If your setup is present, you take the trade. That's it. Nothing to feel like, again, there's no such thing as missing a trade. And again, that's going to fuck up your mental. That's going to make you feel like you need to start trading. You're going to start trading every single day for no reason. Like, nah, man. Take a breath, bro. Take it easy. It's all good. Today was just another trading day. It was just today showed you whether your rules were good or not. And again, if you follow the same rules I follow, the same rules that I show every single day on the stream, And if you were to follow those rules and you took it to the charts like we just did for the last hour and 30 minutes, you see that you're going to win trades. That's it. That's all it is. There's nothing more to it, nothing less. It's very simple trading. If after the rules hit, the outside factors is what's going to determine whether you took the trade or not. Again, for me today, even though my rules are present on the chart, the outside factor is news. I don't trade news days. I do not trade high impact news days. That's it. That's it. A couple years ago, it would have been as simple as STP. STP's hit, I'm not taking the trade, right? But with a little bit more experience and with a little bit more knowledge, understanding that on a day like today with news, we know that price is going to give you more than STP. We know price is still going to bring volume. So if now I understand that, okay, I don't trade because of STP. Now it's not that I don't trade because of STP. Now it's, okay, I'm not trading because of news. That's it. Why? Is the reasons why. Because I already understand that with news, price could do whatever it wants. It could induce the fuck out of you. It looks like it's going to go short and it's going to go long. That happens 30% of the time. Am I going to get in a position where there's a 70% chance of me winning? No, I'd rather not take the risk. Because again, just because there's FOMC, just because there's non-farm, just because there's CPI, I'm not anxious to get into a trade because I don't care about the 60 pips I'm going to get. I'm not greedy with news. Why? Because the same move that I'm trying to look for on a day with news is the same move that I'm trying to look for on a regular day on the charts. So I don't have to be there feeling anxious that I'm missing out on a trade because I know that I'm not. Because I already know that that's not a 100% trade that I know that I'm going to win because it's news. I would rather take that same setup on a day where I know it's a 100% win rate. I know trading on a news day is not 100%. 372, do I have 30-minute change of carriers BOS, 5-minute one trading BOS, any type 1, 2, 3 world daily EMAs, any engulfing candles? What are you talking about? You just fucking talk so much there. 372. Oh, the check down. I got it. Just read the message above. The check down. 372. Do I have a 30-minute change BOS, 5-minute one, any type 1, 2, 3 patterns where the daily forward 30 EMAs, any engulfing candles? Yep. Good check down. I'm gonna start recording my trading session so I got something to go back over or streaming it instead. Yeah, that's what I used to do in the beginning. I didn't stream it, but I recorded it. It's just watching VOD back. Same thing that I did with gaming, bro. Again, it's the same behaviors. If I ask you right now, you know, do you remember everything you saw this morning? Hell no, you're gonna go back to the chart. You're gonna go back to the chart. There's gonna be some small details that you're not gonna remember. So definitely, I would say, you know, if you don't want to stream it, just record it. I would say record it, keep that shit in your files. Or again, if you want to stream it, you could stream it too. But the VOD deletes. So I would say if you stream it, just make sure you record it at the same time on OBS. Keep a folder and keep it all in order. No, I don't think YouTube does actually. I'm not 100% sure though. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, so I don't know. It would make sense that they wouldn't though, especially yeah, since you could put it as enlisted or unlisted. I need this bitch to go down. But alright, guys, again, any questions? Let me know. Anything else you guys want me to go over? Let me know. US oil structure on what time frame? Top and down analysis or just 30-minute or what? This is the structure on the 30-minute. Why? Because price kept trending. Lower low, lower low, lower low. Everything you see here is internal structure. I drew this. My bad. Right? 30-minute structure is this. Inside of the 30-minute, you have internal structure. We're now internal. Now on the 5-minute, you have the 1-minute. We had higher high, higher low, higher high, boom, lower low, lower high, lower low. Right? Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. Change of character. On the 1-minute, we're changing between these highs and these lows. Then price gave us the lower low change of character on the 1-minute. Right? But then again, this is where you gotta ask yourself, well, if we're looking for these change of characters and break of structures, where are we gonna take that trade? We're literally just gonna take a trade from here to here, right? 1 to 1 or 1 to 2, whatever the case is. So instead of fighting for a trade up here, I would rather wait for price to give us these breaks below the 800, which is gonna be below this structure down here. Wait for the break, wait for the pullback, and then continue to take these trades down into the 4-hour and daily lows down here. I don't have to fight for a 2 for a 1 for 2, a 1 to 1, a 1 to 3 when I know that's what I'm going to get because we only have from this area down to this area to take a trade right now. When I know that if price breaks these lows, we have clean traffic. So why would I fight for a fucking small 1 to 1 or 1 to 2 trade, whatever this is going to be on the internal time frame, when I could just wait for that internal change of character and break of structure to happen? I could wait for price to give me the break below the 800, right? Those confirmations would be a lot stronger and we would have a way better RR than if we were to just chase these small trades on the internal time frame. So that's why US oil right now, not really on my list to take these trades just yet. I'll wait for more confirmations and I'll wait for the trend to actually change. Give us a break below these lows. The last support and resistance line. Clean traffic all the way to the bottom, right? For the people who use support and resistance, which are all trading the same shit. We just view it differently. So that's what oil is. Again, pretty simple. Nothing too crazy. And I'm gonna get hungry. Alright, any other questions? If there's no other questions, I'm gonna go to the kitchen real quick, get some food. And then I'll be on again for the Asia session stream. Look at these pairs again real quick. Right? If we would have taken these trades earlier, because you think price has turned around, straight to fucking stop loss. Price continued the uptrend push. We're waiting for price to give us a break below these lows to continue the downtrend push. Instead, it went up. Right? So AUD CAD, we already know that right now we still gotta be patient. The next pair was Euro AUD. Euro AUD, we were waiting for price to give us the uptrend pushes, and we got the complete opposite. Right? Again, if you took the trades early and didn't wait for the valid confirmations, right? You thought that this is where price gave you a break. I'm gonna start going long. You're going down. Already gave us a change. So Euro AUD, we already know we could take our time with that. Euro CAD, we're looking for the uptrend pushes. We're waiting for the 1 minute change and break. Alright, we got the change. We know now that we're trading between these highs, which are also the 800 EMA highs. Alright, so we'll be waiting for price to give us a valid break of those highs on Euro CAD. I'm also going to go ahead and turn off the pairs for now. AUD CAD and Euro AUD and Euro CAD we're going to keep on. GCAD is the other one that we had put on our list. For GCAD, we're waiting for price to give us the valid break of these highs. Price has given us a change of character. Let's draw that out so we're not confused and we're not lost as to what we're looking for. So we're waiting for that break to still happen on GCAD so we can still keep that on. GJ, we were looking for price to either continue the 372 going short or for price to give us the valid break, and we're still trading between these lows, so nothing yet on GJ. So we're just going to be keeping an eye on GJ and GCAD and EuroCAD for now. Everything else we could wait till tomorrow morning. This is how simple trading is, guys. I don't have to babysit these trades. The ones that already disrespected what I wanted to see on the charts, we could throw those out and then just continue to look at the trades that are following what it is that we want to see for the current moment. If it doesn't follow what we want to see, then it's all good. We still got London session, we still got NY session. We'll wait for the market to move a little bit, do what it has to do, and then we'll get in on the third quarter. I'm okay with being benched the first 2 quarters. If you're playing basketball, right? If you're benched the first quarter and you're benched the second quarter, team needs you, right? You're not tired. You haven't ran yet. You haven't played yet. You're fresh, right? You already know how the opponent team plays. You already know the strats they're gonna use. So it's the exact same thing, guys. Exact same thing. And then we said, "What's good, Booba?" I haven't even finished the session, bro. You were only out for an hour and 40 minutes, yo. But I'm almost done though. This is literally the last thing I'm doing, and then the isolation session I'll be done for. But I want to stream Asia session too. And then GJ was the last pair on the watch list, waiting for that valid break or for price to break below these lows to go back down. So EuroCAD will wait for the valid break, which we still don't have. GCAD will wait for the valid breaks, and GJ will wait to see what it wants to do. All right. I'm gonna join Cord. All right, Kendall, join up. Since there's no more questions in the chat, hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I'm gonna turn the stream back on probably at 11. So maybe like 20 minutes. I'm gonna go to the kitchen, get some food, and then I'll turn the stream back on for the live trading session. See you guys in a bit.